Hey everybody, Todd here again. Just a quick addendum, you're giving an addendum to my Jojo Mayor bass drum technique vid. And by the way, Jojo's got his new pedal out there. I haven't bought one yet, but it looks pretty cool. I'm interested to hear feedback from those of you who have. I've gotten a couple of mail responses from some people. It sounds pretty neat. First off, how to practice this. I think how to practice this is how to practice everything in drumming. Do not practice the way you were taught. Trust me. Don't sit down at your drum kit, wail off for 3 hours, and think that you're going to learn a lot. You don't. It gives you a great workout. Sometimes that's what we need to do. If you're sitting down to learn a technique, sit down for small chunks of time, learn the technique correctly, do it correctly, build up muscle memory, get off your drum kit, and come back multiple times for short bursts. Do that over and over again until you have the technique down. When you really have it down, then sit down for longer periods of time to really lock it in. So the reverse of what we were taught. Heel toe. This is not the heel toe technique. I keep getting questions about that again too. Heel toe is two motions, two separate motions, burns up the front of your calf. Jojo's really the drop with kind of sub motions. Much more relaxed. Flows with your body just like the stuff Jojo teaches. You know, he's all about the ergonomics of playing and how your body moves. And then I've been working that into trying to get better at free-forming every technique. Toes, heels, Jojo Mayer, John Blackwell, molar technique, and I'll show you kind of what I mean by that. So I'm going to move the camera, give you a little demonstration, and I hope it helps you all. And keep it up. I'll try to talk loud. Still using the Speed Cobra, a little more spring tension because I've been playing a lot lately, so I've just been upping the tension. Doing it in my bare feet so you can see what's happening. Heel toe. Really two separate motions. Nothing wrong with that at all. If you can make it work, great, man. I've seen some smoking players use that. Jojo Mayer technique, though, is not a kick down and a point. Jojo's is the full foot drop and then catching the upstroke. Now that I've been doing it quite a while, you can see I can do it with almost no input. So then once you have that technique down, it's easy to take that then to the triplets. And it all lends itself, so it's easy to make it flow after that. Then one of the things that I found that works really well is accenting the first beat of a grouping. Doesn't matter how short or long you want the grouping to be. I like to go to count 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and then so I'm accenting the first beat. I'm doing that because it leads to the next exercise, which is the molar technique. So again, accent that first note, 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E. Now that does two things. It leads us into the molar technique, but it also gets us out of our head of just doing straight 16ths. Just like when you play triplets, you tend to, you know, you can play them usually I think a little faster, it seems like, than just playing straight 16ths for a lot of people, or at least gets us into letting our hands move a little more freely. It frees us up psychologically is what I'm trying to say. It's just a change. So it's a way to think of the pattern differently instead of just doing 16ths. Now, like I said, this leads us to the molar technique, which is a plant and catching multiple upbeats. Just like that hard plant with catching where we were doing it before and just doing the accenting the first note of the groupings. I think that's cool because it gets your foot used to dropping down for the Jojo technique and then kind of moving in the position where you might use your toe. Even though I'm feeling it as a real light pickup, if you were playing live, you know, you're moving all over the place. So the idea here is to get your foot used to shifting to many different positions when you need it to do that. And starting to develop things where you can get maybe different sounds at times where you need. You know, we want to be more free at the drum kit. Now, once you got the molar thing happening, then you can start to exchange all the different techniques. We have the Jojo mare, toe, heel, John Blackwell back here where you're kind of pushing harder into the pedal and you're getting more spring action back because you're further back. And then the molar technique. So, you know, start experimenting with just letting those flow and see what you can get. I'll try to call them out as I go here, and I'll try to go slow to just give you an idea of like when I sit down and just let it go a little bit. I'm not trying to go fast. I'm just trying to get my foot used to moving around. Again, you got to lock in the muscle memory, and it takes a long time. So, toe, heel, Jojo mare, John Blackwell. Molar, toe, heel, Jojo mare, John Blackwell. So that's, you know, that's by no means perfect, but I think it's a really great way to challenge yourself. To just switch between techniques, and then what you'll find is when you sit down on the drum kit, because if you think about it, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to, you know, you first are going to play in the technique that you're most comfortable with, and then at times you're going to realize places where you could put in groupings or use Jojo's technique or use John Blackwell's technique, and you want to be able to switch back and forth. So you got to get your foot used to just being free. All right, everybody. I hope that helps you again, and take care. Bye-bye.